WINS, WINS-FM in HD1 New York.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Well, more people get their news from 1010 Wins than from any other radio station in the nation. Sharon Cleone Barnes-Waters is our service aide. Swatina Kakar at the editor's desk. And I'm Scott Stanford.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM, New York.
Good morning. It's already 80 degrees and sunny in Manhattan at 10 o'clock. I'm Linda Lopez, and here's what's happening. MTA Chair Janno Lieber sounding positive about the progress in the talks between LIRR workers and the MTA as we enter day 3 of the Long Island Railroad strike.
We made progress yesterday. The environment was productive.
A major ruling is expected today on what evidence prosecutors can use during Luigi Mangioni's state murder trial. Mayor Mamdani expected to announce that the first city-owned grocery store will be opening next year in the Hunts Point section of the Bronx. A new poll shows that 2/3 of Americans disapprove of how President Trump is handling the economy. And a pro tip for anyone giving a university commencement speech this year, maybe stay away from mentioning AI. We'll tell you why. 1010 Wins AccuWeather. It's going to be hot today, and we actually also have an air quality alert in effect for the city and Rockland and Westchester counties. That's until 11 tonight. Mostly sunny, a little bit humid, and we get to a high of 86 in the city. Wins News Time, 10:01. Let's get you where you need to go. And here's Karen Stewart.
In New Jersey, a bit of a mishap on westbound 280 at exit 8 for West Orange. Tractor trailer broke down, but he was in the center lane when he did it. Of course. So we've got the right and the left lanes there. Of course, there are delays. Edison, northbound 1 at Old Post Road, disabled there too. The right lane is blocked. Try 27 instead. And we got a crash on westbound 80, local lanes towards the lower level of the George near exit 63 in Lodi. This crash blocks the exit ramp to 63. Tip callers into the 1010 Wins traffic tip line about that one. Go for 46 as we check what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The inbound George upper 55 with a disabled tractor trailer. The lower is 50 from the Palisades, it's 20, and the outbound George is 35 to 40 minutes. The inbound Lincoln's 35 to 40, and the inbound Holland is 45 from the Pulaski Skyway, and 25 minutes only from the Newark Bay extension of the Turnpike. Traffic and Transit, Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
And we've got the latest on the LIRR strike coming up. First, we're going to talk about this forecast and this heat that's moving in today. Here's meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Temperatures already have topped the 80-degree mark, Linda, in Central Park, and we're on our way to a high of 86. The winds out of the east and southeast this afternoon will keep it from getting into the 90s in the city, but the western suburbs won't be spared that fate. It is going to be 90-plus across most of the New Jersey and some Hudson Valley suburbs, and that's just the first day of this heat. Tomorrow will be the hottest day of the bunch at 95 with sunshine, and accurate with a real field temperature that could push triple digits. It'll be hot one more day ahead of a cold front on Wednesday with highs of 93, but a strong thunderstorm is likely in the afternoon with that front behind it. Much cooler weather for the rest of the weekend into the start of the Memorial Day weekend. Our meteorologist Joe Lundberg, the full 40 forecast details coming up in minutes on New York Weather Station. 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
It's day 3 of the LIRR strike, and both the unions and the MTA are saying there was real progress in the talks that ran late into the night last night. They're back at the table again today. MTA Chair Janno Lieber telling 1010 Wins this morning he couldn't get into specifics, but that the issue of wages was still being negotiated.
We don't want a deal that blows up the MTA budget, that puts new burdens on the folks who pay the fares or taxpayers. We want to give these folks a raise, but it can't be of the size that implodes the budget and creates new problems for the folks who pay the bills.
The two sides are in agreement on wage hikes for the first 3 years of the agreement, but on the 4th year, they're 2% apart, with the unions wanting a 5% raise, the MTA offering 3%. The MTA is also reportedly now asking for a big increase in health care contributions for new hires from 2 to 10%. Meanwhile, striking workers are still rallying this morning outside Penn Station.
The picket line is back outside Penn Station.
We deserve the fair pay.
At this point, nobody could afford to live here.
Union workers say they're not focused on the MTA's plan for commuters. They're focused on getting a deal done.
We're fighting for something that we deserve. I think ultimately the MTA will see that.
Now on day 3 of the LIRR strike, workers say they're not backing down.
It's like having to go to work. This was a different form of work. I never thought I would ever be on strike. This is the first time that I've experienced being on strike. It's just something you have to do to try to get a basic wage adjustment that keeps up with standard of living.
Their message remains the same. No justice, no service. Shanice Archer, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM at Penn Station.
And now LIRR riders are now dealing with the contingency plans and shuttle buses that the MTA has put in place. Our Sophia Hall hearing from commuters in Hicksville.
What do we want?
As union members stood nearby with signs in their hands, this commuter says getting up at 3:30 in the morning to be at work by 8:30 is a little bit much.
The railroad workers deserve a fair wage. I understand. It's hard.
Hospital worker is trying to stay positive, but says she is very tired.
This is a little bit of an ordeal.
So are you upset or are you just frustrated? What are you?
Very frustrated. I mean, I understand why the union is pushing for higher wages. We all want more money, but they're holding the ridership hostage.
Sophia Hall, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM on Long Island.
And of course, keep it right here on 1010 Wins. We will continue to bring you the latest on the strike. In the race to replace outgoing Congresswoman Nydia Velázquez in the House, issues relating to Puerto Rico are taking the spotlight. In her 3 decades in Congress, Velázquez has become the voice for Puerto Rico alongside fighting for her district. And even though none of the top candidates are Puerto Rican, the island and its issues taking center stage, Congresswoman Velázquez will be with her choice to succeed her, Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso, today to announce a detailed policy platform for the island's most pressing issues. Velázquez has been helping Reynoso craft his Puerto Rico platform. Mayor Mamdani's choice for the seat, Assemblymember Claire Valdez of Queens, has also highlighted Puerto Rico in her campaign platform. Reynoso's background is Dominican, Valdez's background Mexican and Native American. Nydia Velázquez was the first Puerto Rican woman elected to the House of Representatives. And Mayor Mamdani expected to announce that the first city-owned grocery store will be opening next year in the Bronx. It's expected to open in the Hunts Point section in the Peninsula housing development. The plan, reportedly for a 20,000 square foot store at that location. He had previously announced a store at La Marqueta in East Harlem in Manhattan, but that location isn't expected to be open until 2029. The Bronx one expected next year. Mayor Mamdani has said making sure every New Yorker can buy fresh, affordable groceries in their own neighborhood is a key part of his affordability agenda. But some business owners are pushing back, saying the city-owned stores could hurt smaller supermarkets. And they question whether his approach is the best way to reduce grocery prices. The mayor plans to open 5 city-owned grocery stores, 1 in each borough. And Mayor Mamdani continuing to focus on his promise for more free child care in the city, announcing today the city will add 2,000 new 3K seats across the 5 boroughs. Emmy Liss with the Mayor's Office of Child Care and Early Education says that thanks to investments from the state into child care, the Mamdani administration is increasing the amount of 3K seats.
Every single borough, every part of the city, our commitment is that every neighborhood and every family should have access. So we are adding seats in all 5 boroughs in more than 50 zip codes where families had not had access before.
The administration also announced the opening of a new early childhood education center in Brooklyn's Columbia waterfront neighborhood, one that had been left vacant during the last administration. That will add 63 new 3K and pre-K seats. And the judge overseeing Luigi Mangioni's state murder case in the killing of United Healthcare CEO issuing a major ruling this morning.